Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to today's episode of Gaming in My Mama's House. My name is Super Dave. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to subscribe. Also, hit that notification bell to make sure you get notifications every time I drop a new video. Now, today we play Marvel's Avengers. So I think we've all watched Endgame and we're all a bit saddened at what happened in the movie. Probably the best Avengers or Marvel movie of our time. Am I allowed to say that? But there's a huge difference between this game and what we saw in Endgame. This game, Endgame. Yes, no. Okay. So first and foremost, don't expect to hear Robert Downey Jr.'s voice as Iron Man or Chris Hemsworth as Thor. There's no correlation. I guess it's in terms of a rights issue, two different worlds. But here they are in video game form. Firstly, let me start off with the good. What I liked about the game. What I liked about the game, the good, is the gameplay. The fighting, the battle techniques. It reminds me what the guys at Warner Brothers used to do with the Batman video games. Very simple gameplay, straight up button mashing, where you don't need to learn tons of buttons, where you don't need to learn different combos in order how the character works. It's quite simple. The light attack is on square. The heavy attack is on triangle. That's if you're playing on PlayStation. And all these buttons work for all the characters. It's not like you're playing Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter where you need to memorize a number of combos in order for you to learn the character's different moves. Here, all the characters use the same buttons from a gameplay point of view, but they all execute in their own unique ways, which is something I really like. It makes the game the game's learning curve from a combat and gameplay point of view quite simple for you and me, and I think that's something to really marvel at. The movement and the design of the world that Crystal Dynamics created in Marvel's Avengers has similar traits to the previous Tomb Raider game, which is Shadow of the Tomb Raider. If there's a timing point in the game where you play as the Hulk and you do a lot of wall jumping, and it's quite similar to how Lara Croft navigated away in Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which is something I really did. Still talking about the good, I loved the game storyline and how you interchange between Thor, Captain America, Black Widow, Hulk, Bruce Banner, and Iron Man, and Miss Marvel herself, Kamala Khan. And her journey as she finds herself and discovers her powers as a superhero. I think that there's a beautiful narrative there and a beautiful story there, which unfolds beautifully as they try to take down AIM, the Advanced Ideas Mechanics that use science and technology and try to rule the world. So I think that's pretty cool, man, and especially as how the game starts out with the Avengers are in trouble and they've disbanded, and this lovely lady goes on a journey to reunite and put the pieces of this puzzle together. Now let's move on to the bad. I love video games that are very story focused. I think that's one of the things I've always loved about video games is the ability to tell a story and put players, myself and you, in the shoes of different characters. Which this does quite well because you are in the shoes of different characters throughout the game. But what I would have loved to see with this game is that this game should have an interactive storyline. I don't know if you've played a video game called Until Dawn, where your decisions, alter the game storyline, and there's consequences to the decisions you make. I think with such a rich cutscene game, if there is such a phrase, with a video game that has so many cutscenes and such, and that is so and the storyline is very it's driven by a lot of narratives and cutaways. I would have loved to see an interactive storyline where if you choose to say yes in a certain instance, this will happen, or if you choose to say no and go for this route, you have a different outcome. I think I would have definitely loved to see that in Marvel's Avengers, and I think because it's so story driven, the cutscenes can get to a point where you like zone out of the game, where you literally pick up your phone and you're texting someone, or you're just checking out what's happening on social media because you have to get through a cutscene. I think if the cutscenes were more interactive, you would have had a better storyline. Not a better storyline. I think you would have had a better game at your hands. I also don't get the game's loot system, the upgrading of the players' armor and stuff. I found that barely had a impact on what I was doing while I was gaming. So I also didn't get that. I didn't get, and I won't front like I played the multiplayer. I think I was stuck playing the single player campaign. And I know you can play with your friends as the different Marvel Avengers characters, but I don't have enough friends playing this video game in order for me to actually to get that going. And when I tried just waiting for a ping and other guys to jump online, it took way too long for my liking. So I never really dabbled in that. My main focus was on the single player campaign, and I think once that also finishes, I doubt a lot of people will jump back into the game unless big changes come to the game that will entice new players and people who already have a copy of the game to continue playing. Yeah. Now let's move on to the Super. What really stood out for me, it has to be for someone who's a Marvel fan. This was the perfect opportunity for me to jump back into the Marvel world after Endgame, and being able to take control of some of my favorite characters. I think there's no Marvel fan that's never wanted to be Iron Man, fly around, shooting beams at enemies. I also loved smashing as the Hulk or swatting enemies as a giant. It's Marvel, I think that was really fun. And the world that Crystal Dynamics created is also marvelous, man. Visually, it's quite a marvelous game. Even though at times the AI and the user interface become a bit buggy, but from a visual point of view, that actually stood out for me. And from a gameplay point of view, gameplay wise, it's quite fun, quite easy to understand, quite simple. So I think I've said more good than I've said bad, and I think a lot of people really shot down this game, but I think there's big improvements that can be done that I highlighted earlier. So yeah, man, that's the good, that's the bad, and that's the Super of Marvel's Avengers. Let me know in the comment section below what you think of the video game. Are you playing it? Yeah, man, don't forget to subscribe and like. My name is Super Dave. This is my mama's house, and thank you for watching another edition of Gaming in My Mama's House.